Before watching this video, I want to inform you that there are spoilers in it. Take care. Let's get started. By 2022, America's United Weather is thriving at 1% and crime at an all-time low. However, some criminologists are of the opinion that the low rates of poverty in the country are due to the fact that on the Judgment Night, they destroy those who cannot afford the protection, armored panels, that only wealth can provide. James Sandin, a salesman for such security systems, and his family, his wife Mary and their children, Charlie and Zoe, due to his profession, he did not feel the possession of wealth in the Purge, because he was satisfied with his life. On the evening before the Purge begins, Zoe Sandin regretfully says goodbye to her boyfriend Henry, having to sneak into her house through the window. James does not allow them to meet, since Henry is older than her. Mary meets friendly neighbor Grace Farron, who treats her neighbors to cookies. Grace tells Mary that there are rumors that the Sandins are wealthy on their neighbors. They all bought the defense system from them, including Grace. As a sales agent, he became a leader. At parting, Grace says that this year she will not tire herself with a party at the house. This is how she and her friends wait out the Judgment Night. However, through French time, James and Mary spot Grace's neighbors on CCTV cameras. In English time, after the beginning of the Purge, Charlie notices a black man come running in their freedom and beg to save him. Charlie, after some thought, lets him in, although his parents are extremely unhappy about this. Identity unknown, as the reason why he was found, is unknown. At this time, Zoe found Henry hiding in his room, who decided to stay, to have a serious talk with her father. He walks out into the hall just as James is holding the stranger's gun sight. Unexpectedly, Henry takes aim at Zoe's father, fires, and misses, but James heads for Henry, who then crawls into Zoe's room and dies later. Autumn, Zoe and the stranger scatter around the house. Mary and Charlie lock themselves in the control room, while the daughter and the stranger look for the letter. A few minutes later, a group of visiting students in grinning masks arrive, and their polite leader informs the Sandins that they are the ones who kill various scum of society on the Judgment Night, and that the person who is hiding in their house is nothing more than a homeless pig. He issues an ultimatum to the family: either the Sandins give them the stranger, or in an hour they will unleash the beast on them. James admits to his wife that although the Jews' security system is hacked, it is still possible. The couple goes looking for the stranger. Charlie, looking at the company walking around in front of their house waiting, imagines that he cannot go about with his parents, and with the help of his homemade robot of following, he helps the stranger find a way to close in his room's closet. However, Zoe also decided to hide in the same shelter, and the stranger takes her hostage. A fight breaks out between the stranger and James manages to non-lethally injure the stranger with a shot. Together with his wife, they bind the fugitive with tape. And the children often visited. Charlie and Mary run away, and James tries to calm Zoe, saying that in the morning everything will be fine as before, but Zoe, pointing out his treatment of the stranger, says that it will never be good like before. She also runs away, and the stranger, who is watching everyone, asks James to turn him into people on the street so as not to endanger the children. But something breaks in James, and he decides to fight back the marauders. When the time expires, the people outside are protected by a protective panel, having torn them off with chains attached to the vehicle. Armed, the spouses manage to shoot almost all the marauders. But the leader mortally wounds James with a large knife. He then targets Mary Charlie as well, but is killed by Zoe. Marauders left outside are killed by unexpected neighbors in Grace's domain. However, the joy of Sandin's misfortune, the neighbors came to take revenge on the Sandins for having amassed their money fortune on them. At the most crucial moment, the stranger freed himself from the adhesive tape, who kills one of the neighbors, after which he excites Grace and demands to release the Sandins. When Grace is in her crosshairs, Grace asks them not to pull too, but Mary says that there will be no more football in her house, whether they are looking for neighbors or not, they will spend the rest of the time in peace and tranquility. Everyone spends the rest of the doomsday in the dining room, where Mary looks on bitterly at those she considers her friends. When Mary was left a little before 7 in the morning, Grace tries to take it from the shotgun, but she hits her with a butt in the nose and then hit her head once on the tabletop. As the end of the doomsday signal sounds, a bleeding Grace and the neighbors admit the Sandins' house. Mary thanks the stranger and he stayed. Mary herself and her children go to the front door, behind which the sounds of a siren are heard. News reports are repeated off-screen. A Los Angeles resident says that on the steps of the street, corpses fall on everyone. A resident of another city says that the local hospital refuses to admit because there is no distribution in the admissions department. In the third, it is reported that 200 people were executed at once in the square of his city, and cease to be proud of being an American. The summaries end with the message that the current judgment night was larger than the previous one, and that American citizens now have 364 of their days left before the next judgment night. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos of this kind. See you on the internet. Bye.